Title: I found out my wife was having dinner with her boyfriend, so I reserved the table beside them and arrived with his wife. When they saw me, the entire restaurant went silent. Start: I remember the look on her face the night everything fell apart. Her eyes widened, her breath caught halfway through a laugh that never finished. For a moment, the entire restaurant froze, forks suspended midair, whispers strangled in throats. And then, silence. Just her, me, him, and his wife. But I'm getting ahead of myself. For 8 years, I believed I'd married my best friend. Elena was laughter on Sunday mornings, shared playlists on long drives, burnt toast and soft apologies. We built a rhythm together, a quiet symphony of trust. I was the kind of man who noticed details, the way she stirred her coffee counterclockwise, the way she tucked her hair when she lied. I ignored that last one for too long. The first shift was small, her phone always face down, late nights working on reports, a perfume scent I didn't recognize when she came home. The air changed. The warmth between us curdled into something colder. But when you love someone, you bargain with yourself. You tell your gut to stay quiet. Until the night I followed her. She said she was meeting a client for dinner. Something in her tone, it was too polished, too careful. So I waited 10 minutes after she left, then drove to the city, parked across from the restaurant. The place was upscale, candlelit tables visible through glass. And there she was, not with a client, with him, Daniel, my colleague, my friend. I'd known him for years. We'd played golf together, swapped project leads, even celebrated birthdays side by side. His wife, Melissa, baked us a cake on our 5th anniversary. And there they sat now, my wife and Daniel, leaning close, hands brushing, smiling like the world had shrunk to just the two of them. My pulse went cold. No shouting, no confrontation, just a quiet decision forming in the back of my mind. They wouldn't see it coming. Revenge isn't anger, it's art. You don't paint it in haste, you sculpt it slowly. First, I documented everything. Photos, call logs, messages, quietly transferred from her phone to mine one night as she slept. Her passcode hadn't changed. I guess she still trusted me. Then came Daniel. I learned his patterns, his schedule, his weaknesses. He'd been sloppy, leaving traces even his wife could find if she looked. So I nudged her to look. Anonymously, of course. A new email account, a few photos, a subject line, "You deserve to know." Melissa reached out to me 2 days later. Her message was short, direct. Let's talk. When we met, she didn't cry. She just listened. Then she smiled, a sharp, knowing smile that mirrored the one I'd been wearing internally for weeks. By the end of that conversation, we had a plan. We chose the same restaurant, same table, same night of the week. I made the reservation for 2 tables, side by side, one under Daniel's name, the other under mine. Melissa handled the timing. She knew her husband's calendar as well as I knew my wife's. They'd meet at 7. We'd arrive at 7:30. In the days leading up to it, I played my role perfectly, gentle, distracted, the husband she thought she could fool. I even kissed her goodbye that evening as she left, just to make the irony complete. The maitre d' recognized me when I walked in. "Mr. Grant, your table is ready." Perfect. Melissa walked beside me, elegance in motion, her calm matching mine. We looked every bit the picture of composed civility. And then I saw them. Elena and Daniel, laughing over wine, the same flicker of stolen intimacy glowing between them. Until she turned and froze. Her hand stopped mid-gesture, her smile disintegrating as her eyes landed on me. Then on Melissa. Daniel followed her gaze. His color drained faster than the wine in his glass. The restaurant fell into a collective hush. Even the music seemed to pause. Melissa leaned toward me. "After you," she whispered. I smiled, walked to their table, and placed my hand on the back of an empty chair. "Well," I said softly, "looks like we caught the early special." Elena's mouth opened, but no sound came. Daniel tried to speak, failed twice. Melissa took her time sitting down across from him. "I thought we could double date," she said sweetly, "since you two are such good friends." The waiter stood frozen, unsure whether to flee or fetch water. I gestured calmly. 4 glasses. Make it champagne. They didn't touch their drinks. We didn't need to raise our voices. The silence was our weapon. The whispers spreading around the restaurant were the blade twisting deeper. I laid my phone on the table, screen up, the gallery open. Photos, messages, proof. Elena's hand trembled as she reached for it, then stopped. Daniel's wife just stared at him, her expression colder than the ice in her glass. Elena left first. No apology, no words. Just tears she couldn't hide as she stumbled out into the night. Daniel followed a minute later, tripping over excuses that didn't matter. Melissa and I finished the champagne, in silence. When we finally stood, she said, "Thank you for letting me see it for myself." I nodded. They counted on our trust. That was their mistake. By the next morning, both affairs were over. Daniel moved out. Elena tried to call. I didn't answer. She sent long messages, apologies dressed in guilt. But I'd already found peace in the silence. Divorce came quietly. No shouting, no courtroom drama, just signatures and finality. I kept the house. She kept her memories. Sometimes people think revenge is loud, screaming, smashing, destruction. But the most satisfying kind is quiet, precise, surgical. The kind where you don't have to lift your voice, because the truth does it for you. Now, every time I pass that restaurant, I remember that night, not with anger, but with calm satisfaction. Because in that single moment, I didn't just expose them, I reminded them what betrayal costs. And as the waiter placed the champagne that night, I couldn't resist the final line, a whisper that turned heads around us. "Cheaters," I said, raising my glass. "Get served," literally. Then I drank to silence, to closure, to justice done quietly.